This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go.
I was like peace in a groove on a Sunday afternoon. You were there, so was I. In the park, 4th of July, I was chillin' with my Kool-Aid when Miss Chile came to relay that you had a thing for me, finest thing you've ever seen. I must admit to you, I've heard them lines a time or two, although for some apparent reason, monkey lines are now in season. Lights off, lights on, I guess the groove's on. So I am digging the scene, digging on you, digging on me. Baby, baby, ooh, baby, baby, it's on like that, it's on like that. I gotta be in love or something like that. I'm digging the scene, digging on you, digging on me. Baby, baby, ooh, baby, baby, it's on like that, it's on like that. I gotta be in love or something like that. Hello. Welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. A little bit of a better mood, hence I'm singing. This was my earworm, but it's the anniversary of Crazy Sexy Cool. Top tier album, by the way, by TLC. And I saw, the other reason why I picked that one is because I saw a clip of Keke Palmer, who, by the way, and I think the other person who will feel this way about this is Donnie from Am I the Cute One? And he is the cute one. Who has we both have a love for Keke that burns with the heat of 1,000 suns. So I love Keke. I haven't watched her Club Shay Shay interview, but when I tell you, she is being interviewed by Shay Shay. In the clip, the context is about her, being like 12, 13 years old and kissing, teenagers that are actually a little bit older than her. I think it was like 16, 17. And he said to her, "You like them older, what, don't you?" And she said, that's what Michelle said. That's what Michelle said, or that's what we said about Michelle, something like that. And I tell you, he's like, now see, this is the second person in a row that has been gagging Shay Shay. When I tell you, Shannon, dear Shannon Sharp, he probably might hear this, but I hope he does. Sir, I didn't listen to the whole clip because I'm like, sir, you said on your own YouTube Live with Ocho, you are king of backshots. So I was not surprised that you put in the work. You also got your hips replaced. So yeah, I don't blame anybody who taking them 56-year-old hips on a test drive. A couple rounds around the block. I'm sorry, I'd kick you around the neighborhood. That's no tea, no shade. So the fact that everybody is joking him and he can laugh about it, because really it's like, Shannon, it'd be different if, we had we seen your dick and your dick isn't impressive. Basically, you were saying like, I went on live by mistake. Okay. By accident. I'm like, girl, you gotta get through some steps to get to live. So, girl, just say you set up, because you gonna stop trying. Now we ain't gonna take too much of your lives. However, we're like, oh, okay, because I swear Shannon act like he is so old, but this man is only 56 years old. That's an older man, maybe middle age, but old. Nah. So when she called him hunky unky, I started cracking up because I screamed in my house, because that is funny. Also, it's incredibly true. He is hunky-unky, because Shannon Sharp may wear tight pants, but they fit and they tight and they look good on him. And he wear clothes that fit his body, and that man literally works out like at least 5 times a week still at his quote unquote big age. It's a big age, he's 56, but I'm saying that's why he acts like we're talking about a 76-year-old man and not a 56-year-old man. But yeah, we love hunky unky that be on the YouTubes. We love a good hunky unky. So hopefully soon I will not be doing solo dolo episodes. Not that I don't enjoy them, because by the way, I do enjoy them. So I do, but I can't wait to get back to having guests, because shows are coming back. Beverly Hills has come back. So, Bravo High Notes will be coming back a little bit more full force, because Beverly Hills is back. Married to Medicine is coming back. Salt Lake City, which is definitely, y'all should be watching this, because when I tell you Bronwyn is not boring win on Salt Lake, and the fact that we are now seeing, like, basically Heather Gay is on the Summer Jam screen. And I'm so here for this because, one, she should have been on the Summer Jam screen since season 1. Hey, hi. Because that lady who likes to yell, likes to get drunk, and likes to throw things and also punch people in the faces was there. People didn't notice how shady and how two-faced Heather can be. I'm glad we're seeing it now, because Jennifer. Wait, what's her name? Jen. It is. Did I say Jennifer? It is Jen Shaw. She is not Shamazing on Salt Lake right now. She is Shamazing in the big house, in the Chokey, at camp. So now we're seeing it. But when I tell you Bronwyn keeps me laughing, because I love her and also digging in Lisa Barlow's ass, because Lisa be trying it too. I have thoughts about the last episode that came out, especially the fact that Mary threw Meredith out of her house. And it was not because she thought Meredith was dead ass wrong. But if this is my home and I tell you to shut the hell up and stop yelling at my home, you will yell. It's like, ma'am, if you cannot stop yelling, you're going to have to leave. She didn't throw her out. She said, ma'am, stop yelling in my home. That is what she told her. And Meredith, Meredith was Meredith. Here's the other thing about Meredith and the whole Angie K and her husband. You know what's really funny? They wanted Meredith to literally regret what they said, and notice Sean did not do that about what he said about, or what he attributed to Meredith and her motherhood and her child. Because she's like, oh yeah, I'm like, I did not say that. You kind of did though. Did he say it directly? I gotta listen to it again. But if she's saying what you said was offensive to me as a motherhood, Sean should have just apologized off rip, and that is just what I am saying right now. The rumors and the nastiness, you wanted her to apologize for what she said or what she alluded to, because she didn't say what the rumors were, because she did not say the rumor that Monica said on camera that basically Angie K is Sean's beard. I am not sure about that, because I know people say, well, they have a whole child. There's plenty of gay men who have children and they've had them biologically, so that means nothing. Karamo has 2. Like, whether they are attracted to women or not, their dicks still work. I'm very confused, and if they're not shooting blanks, they going like pew 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 up a club. Okay, so there's that. But again, Bravo High Notes are going to be coming later. Shout out to Baby Jet and Candy Cane, because I got thoughts about Potomac Tea. But, Bravo High Notes are coming. But I feel like I want to have, like, the conversations with other people about this. So, yeah, they'll be coming. So, now that, a little bit of anger has ebbed in my spirit, anger is going to be there for quite some time. But, the levels of it is going down. So let's talk about some things. First thing, and I'm recording on Thursday, November 21st, so it's literally a week before Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Gobble till you wobble, honey. Gobble till you wobble. But yeah, got the news that Mr. Matt Gaetz withdrew from the Attorney General nomination because, I'm sorry, let's see. CNN, this was tweeted out by Paula Reed from CNN. Gaetz withdrew from AG nomination 45 minutes after we called to say we were going to report that ethics committee told there was a second sexual encounter between Gaetz and 17-year-old in 2017. So this is going to be on the CNN. The woman who says she had sex when she was a minor with then Rep. Matt Gaetz told the House Ethics Committee she had 2 sexual encounters with him at one party in 2017. The woman, who was 17 years old at the time, testified that the second sexual encounter, which has not previously been reported, included another adult woman. See, as much as but y'all want to attack the LGBTQ plus community. Bunch of whores. She also testified to both sexual encounters in a civil deposition as part of a related lawsuit. After being asked for comment on this story, Groupon, stop sending me stuff. After being asked for comment for this story, Gaetz announced he was backing out as President-elect Donald Trump's Attorney General nominee. Gaetz has repeatedly denied having sex with a minor and was not charged after the Justice Department investigated those alleged encounters. Gaetz and Trump were working to lock down support on Capitol Hill for the former Florida congressman to become the next Attorney General. Members of the Republican-led House Ethics Panel voted along party lines on Wednesday not to release the results of their investigation and instead decided to meet again on December 5th to vote on the final report. What's really funny about that? Now, they are saying the Justice Department investigated and they did not charge him. However, the House Ethics Panel, if there was no wrongdoing, why didn't y'all just release it? Because it sounds like maybe not criminally, but morally, that's an issue. That's why. The other woman, who was an adult at the time, has denied participating in the alleged second encounter, according to multiple sources familiar with her ethics testimony. Funny. The Justice Department closed its investigation of Gaetz last year after prosecutors recommended that no criminal charges be brought against him. The House Ethics Committee revived its investigation of the Florida lawmaker once DOJ concluded its case and is facing mounting pressure to release its final report. Allegations against Gaetz also have surfaced as part of a civil dispute in federal court in Florida. The deposition from the woman, who was 17 at the time, remains under seal, but her allegations were described during another deposition that is public record. At one point, attorneys recounted that she had testified having sex with Gaetz on an air hockey table at the house party while the homeowner watched. Oh. An attorney for the woman, who was a minor at the time of the sexual encounters, has called for the ethics report to be released immediately, noting that his client was a high school student at the time and saying there were witnesses. Well, if the homeowner is watching, y'all go to Pound Town on a air hockey table. Joel Leopard, an attorney who represents 2 other women who were witnesses in the House Ethics Committee probe, said one of his clients testified that she witnessed Gaetz having sex with a minor. Leopard said his client told the committee she did not believe Gaetz knew at the time that her friend was underage. Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter if you knew or didn't know. They were. Both of Leopard's clients sat for closed-door testimony before the committee. He has said that both of them testified that Gaetz paid them for sexual favors, quote unquote. Leopard also called on the House Ethics Committee to release the report on Gaetz, emphasizing the importance of transparency. Democracy demands transparency. I have so many thoughts. Release the Gaetz ethics report. Yeah, because here we're talking about, we're not talking about, at this point, we're not talking about something criminal. We're talking about, again, it's the House ethics. We're talking about ethics here. Ethically, you should not be Attorney General if you are literally, one, having sex with random ass people and you not literally at a party. Oh, I didn't know she was 17. Now, we can have this fun talking about looking at people like, what does she look? How old does she look? People sometimes are a little disingenuous when they say they don't look. She didn't look underage. I'm pretty sure she also didn't look 21 or 18. 18 is very weird age. However, it's like, sir, you're of a certain age. You shouldn't be having sex with teenagers, whether they're 18 plus or not, at your big ass age. Period. All right. So, yeah, and I
literally say, I'll take good news where I can get it. I will get any good news. I'm like, yeah, good. But the thing about it is the fact that he, the fact that we're looking at his cabinet, aka the Legion of Doom, and one person in that cabinet is Linda McMahon, who literally is not qualified to be in that position. The thing about it is that makes me laugh is that, baby, this technically is a DEI hire. You are only there because you're a woman and or a Trumper. Not because you're qualified, because you're not. But when it comes to, and I can speak from my demo, which is black women, we're always overqualified, or we're always usually overqualified for the position that we're applying for. But the thing about it is, if you're talking about a black person and talk about DEI, you automatically think we're not meeting merit. We don't have the merit to be in a position. We're there because we're black. But then you're like, don't think that you can just get this job because you're black. But you think I'm here because you think the only reason why I'm in this position is because I'm black. See how that sounds? It sounds ridiculous every time I think about it. Okay. So the CMA Awards were over the weekend. And last year, or the year before, a lot of country fans had a lot to say about Beyonce. She don't belong here, or come in here and visit with us, come be with us, basically. So this year she did not get any nominations for her country album. Now, there are a lot of people like, oh, she just made a album that could be leaning towards country. I'm like, one, it wasn't a bad album. And it had a song with fucking Dolly Parton. What are we doing? But there were people who said, like, come and, sit around us and be around us. Shabuzi came and hung out and with the country folks. He was snubbed. He didn't win any of the nominations, any awards he was nominated for. He got shut out. And everybody's like, oh goodness, like And the person who, I'm glad that he's saying something, because one, it's like, it's no point of Beyonce fans or black people talking about how the CMA awards and the fandom, a lot of them are literally they have, like, I'm not even going to fake the funk with you. They're racist and they don't want black people here, even though there are a lot of black people historically. If it's a musical genre, black people are in it, but y'all act like black people are not supposed to be here. So I'm glad that this person spoke up, and that person being Billy Ray Cyrus. So he put on Instagram, congratulations to all CMA nominees. I'm so happy and proud to see country music opening their doors. A format to be inclusive to all people, all styles. Lil Nas X and I won this award in 2019 for Event of the Year, but you wouldn't have seen it because they didn't air it in the show. I was surprised to see Beyonce wasn't nominated. Her album was brilliant. Her single ruled, and you know that. She doesn't need a trophy from the CMA or permission or approval from any of their judges. When you knock them out, you don't need no judge. That's a quote from Muhammad Ali that he put on there. And he's absolutely right. Now, if you don't like country music, you might not have liked Beyonce's album, and that's totally fine. Here's the other thing. You know what's really funny about the CMAs? You know who did win a CMA award? Post Malone. Could have swore Post Malone was a rapper. Now, if you're saying that, like, these are, like, this is for country artists, and, this is, you can't just, like, make country music and think you just come up here and win awards. Let me know how y'all feel about Post Malone, because I could have swore he was a rapper, but he is a white male rapper, so y'all are fine with it. Yeah. And the thing about it is, for things to change, people that are huge in country music, the only way it's going to change is if big time people do it. And the thing about it is, y'all not, yeah, apparently y'all not listening to her, which is crazy. So when I think about change and like moving the needle or moving the gauge, it makes me think about the Lorax in the quote, in the unless quote. So the Lorax is a character of Dr. Seuss. It's a book. There is a movie. And the quote is, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Until somebody like Tim McGraw, and I'm going to say this as somebody who doesn't really necessarily know, like who is considered big time right now. Oh, excuse me, and for country musicians, I'm thinking like for me, a Tim McGraw, I'm a Faith Hill, also Chris Stapleton, a Shania Twain. I would say Taylor Swift, but they did not like that. Taylor was like, I'm going to go to pop music, and you see how she literally ballooned and blew up when she stopped being a country artist and a pop artist instead. Now, y'all should really be more mad at that, but you know what? I'm not gonna do this today. Nope. But yeah, shout out to Billy Ray Cyrus, and yeah, the CMA fandom and how they do the awards. Y'all are very transparent. What is also transparent is the racism that's in the UK, and you can see it with how the movie Wicked is being promoted, and how they are literally acting like Cynthia Erivo is being treated in a promotion of Wicked, because in the UK they're just showcasing Ariana Grande. I think there was a sit down with Cynthia and Ariana, and the interviewer only asked Ariana questions. And you see, like, there was a person who tweeted out like copies of British newspapers, and they only are showing Ariana. The character that Cynthia Erivo is playing in Wicked, and I really need to either read a book, and see the play. Oh, and by the way, I didn't realize apparently there is a Wicked Part 2, and they're already talking about it coming out in 2025. It's crazy. So the other thing about London and in the UK and how they're treating the promotion of Cynthia Erivo, the lack of it, is that Cynthia Erivo is actually British. And I get it. Ariana Grande is a huge deal. But the fact that Cynthia Erivo is playing the other main character in this movie, and she is British, it speaks volumes to the way that y'all fucking act. And it's just so wild to me. So, again, I have not seen Wicked, and I know, bad musical theater lover. I know, I get it. The only thing I really knew about Wicked is the song Defying Gravity, and that's because I'm a Glee fan. So, I think to try defying gravity. And by the way, Kurt's rendition of Defying Gravity, of course, was better than Rachel's, and he literally should have been. You know what, Stephanie? We're not going back down gleekity gleek. But Cynthia Erivo plays Elphaba Throp. Basically, she is the person that will turn into the Wicked Witch of the West. So basically, she plays Elphaba. Girl, again, I told you I have not seen Wicked. So again, smack my hand. And then Ariana plays Glenda.
And I keep forgetting that Ariana is a married lady. It's so funny. Yeah, the way that they're doing this is just completely just awful. It's just awful. Let's see. So if I'm looking at the cast. I did not look at the whole cast. Only thing I really knew is that Cynthia Erivo's in this movie, Ariana Grande's in this movie. I knew Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum. What I didn't know is that my baby from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, is also in this movie. Kiela Settle, from The Greatest Showman, the woman who sings "This Is Me," she is in this movie. I had no idea. I'm like, oh, Peter Dinklage, and Bowen Yang is in here. Fun times. This is fun. So I'm like on the fence. So if I want to see Wicked this weekend, or if I want to wait until Thanksgiving weekend, don't know yet. I don't. Let's see who is. Oh, so okay, this is another sidebar. So Marissa Bode plays Nessa Rose in this movie, and Nessa Rose is paraplegic, and this character is the person that's going to end up being this is Elphaba's. Donnie, don't kill me, okay? I'm so sorry. This is Elphaba's sister, aka the Wicked Witch of the East, and apparently in the book and in the play, she is paraplegic, and she's actually played by someone who is paraplegic. I love this. I love this. I love that we have now gotten to a place where we're going to stop acting like we don't have people who literally can play this from an authentic place, meaning this is their lived experience. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm of two minds when it comes to Wicked. I'm like, do I want to go see it this weekend? I'm not sure, but I just love Cynthia Erivo's voice. I'm like, she can sing me the phone book. When she talked about which song was more difficult, and she brought up "I Am Here," I'm like, I think y'all need to listen to the song "I Am Here" again, her version, and also Fantasia's. That song, when I watched the film adaptation of The Color Purple, it made me cry the first time I heard it, and that was Fantasia's. And I've also heard Cynthia Erivo's. It is "I Am Here." It's just a fantastic song. It's just, ooh, woo. I'm sorry. I really do love it. I really do. So, in the last couple of about the last week or so, there has been discussions about white supremacists feeling emboldened. And so there is a high school in Beverly Hills, California, which had a very interesting interesting situation happened where a group of students, and I mean a group of students, went marching through the halls with a Trump sign, and it freaked out a teacher and also the students. Now, a lot of people are doing this thing where they're like, oh my gosh, this is in California. I hate to break it to y'all, but just because the state is blue, that does not mean that racism is just literally non-existent. Oh, it's still there. You want to know why? Because there are some people who don't think that what they're doing and how they're behaving, they don't think they're racist. They don't think what they're doing is racist. They don't. I'm going to tell you that right now. They don't think that. They don't think that what they're doing is racism. They don't think that. They're like, oh, I'm not racist because I want XYZ elemental P. They don't think that they're racist. Which is so crazy. It should be crazy to all of us. But it's not. I think the other thing is that we do this a lot where we think that racists are just old people. And that's not true. Or that it's like racism is just going to die out. No, because racists still literally procreate. And they are literally passing along these terrible and outdated and disgusting thoughts to their children and to anybody around them. So there's yeah, so they really want to sit here and act like they don't do that. That's just oh. So yeah, all right. Oh, fun times. So I want to say this really Gladiator 2 is coming out. And we're getting interviews with Denzel Washington. And I think it's really interesting that Denzel is coming out excuse me, being a little bit more open about basically himself. And the thing about it is like Denzel he's not very forthcoming, or he's not very transparent about a lot of things, but he's being very open right now about him being sober. He's saying he has shot dope, but I never got strung out. I'm not surprised by any of this. So there is that. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say this. It's not that I'm not surprised by any actor who has tried the drugs. It's just that I'm surprised that people are surprised that people who are saying like, I did this like years or decades ago. You're like, why are you telling us now? Because he can. Sometimes you're just like, they're telling you because they can. It's like, if they want to tell you, they can. If they don't want to tell you, they're not going to tell you. It's fine either way, quite frankly. So it really is fine. It's just really interesting when I think about it. I also want to kind of talk about this story because I'm from Baltimore, so this happened in Baltimore. A man followed his coworker and then shot him multiple times after saying it was his fault for being demoted. Now, Kevin Gross, 46, was arrested after shooting Ronald Victor Garcia Rodriguez, 28, on I-95 in Maryland around 4:30 a.m. Garcia Rodriguez was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds when authorities arrived and taken to a hospital. So let me get a little bit more of this. So his name is Kevin Gross. When I saw that, I was like, oh Lord. No, wrong one. All right, hold on. So he was denied bail. So let me do this. The victim and this happened on Monday. And the victim is still in critical condition. Kevin Gross was in court Tuesday morning facing charges for allegedly shooting a 28-year-old coworker on the side of I-95 early Monday morning. According to charging documents, the victim called 911. Maryland State Police found him walking on the shoulder of 95 after being shot 7 times in the arm and torso. According to court documents, the victim was on his way into work and got a flat tire, so he pulled over on the shoulder of I-95 just north of the Howard County line. When he got out to inspect the tire, Kevin Gross pulled up behind him and got out wearing a mask covering his mouth. Gross told him he must have hit a pothole or something, but upon inspecting the tire, the victim could see the tire had been slashed. Gross then produced a firearm and began firing numerous shots. Charging documents state the two were both assistant managers at Planet Aid in Elkridge. Gross had recently been demoted, and the victim told police Gross thought he had something to do with that demotion. The victim was critically injured and taken to shock trauma. Police arrested Gross on his way to work Tuesday. That man shot him on Monday and showed up, to work Tuesday morning. Gross spoke with police and placed himself in the vicinity of the victim's apartment at approximately 0100 hours on November 18th because he wanted to fight him, quote unquote. Gross waited for the victim to exit the apartment complex and followed him in his Buick, documents said. Arguing against bail, the prosecutor brought up a carjacking conviction Gross served time for nearly 2 decades ago. The defense argued for home detention and said he takes care of his mother who has dementia. But the judge ultimately decided Gross was too much of a risk to the victim and the community and denied him bond. In a statement to 11 News, Planet 8 said, "At this point, we have no special information about this tragic crime other than what has been reported in the media. We hope that the shooting victim recovers and that the shooter is brought to justice." I have thoughts about that. Anyway, anyone who, it's the way that it's framed. I'm like, why are you saying the shooter and the victim? I'm like, let me back up. It is the shooter and the victim. The thing about this is these two people work at your, why are you, never mind, Stephanie, shut up. Anyone who have maybe been on I-95 in that area around 4:30 a.m. is asked to call state police. And basically just let them know, like, they're looking for, like, they are looking for, I'm not victims, witnesses, could not think of the word. Yeah, they're looking for people who are, witnesses to this, but that is nuts to literally slash the tire, making sure that he is going to stop, and then shooting this man because he got you you think that he got you demoted? That he got you demoted? Yeah, girl, I cannot. I don't even know what to say. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. Just a little bit. Let's just talking a little bit, and we're actually going to wrap it up. But we're going to last thing I kind of want to discuss is Morning Joe. Because Joe and Minka decided, as they have literally called on their I don't know if it's a program or social media, they have called Trump Hitler. They themselves. And they were just like, oh, but accepted an invitation from the man that you equated to Hitler to come out to Mar-a-Lago. Just say you wanted to go out on a free vacation. Okay, but shout out to Jeff Tidrix, who did this is from his website, because now they said it on their show and people are looking at him like that's so crazy, and then he's like, why y'all like, why are they looking at us like you're crazy? Can you call this man Hitler? Like, I'm very confused. But shout out to Jeff. During their Monday morning broadcast, as Morning Joe and Mika were vomiting. I'm sorry. If you don't know who Jeff Tidrich is, Tiedrich, follow him. He's a good follow on the social medias. During their Monday morning broadcast, as Morning Joe and Mika were vomiting out their saga of having slunk down to Donnie Convict's rat-infested Florida golf motel to grovel at his feet and then blithering about how maybe we don't see eye to eye, but dear leader is the big guy now, and we really does want to find common ground. A super fun thing happened. Viewers switched their shit off as fast as they could. Oh, that's so funny. Oh dear, it seems Okay, I'm sorry. This is from a quote. Nielsen data shows that 56 minutes after the host began explaining their trip to the Trump residence, viewing figures began to tumble. Between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., they had fallen 17% from 839,000 to 694,000 viewers. Among the 25 to 54-year-old age group, viewing figures plummeted by 38%. Oh dear, it seems like we're going to kowtow to fascism isn't what people tune into MSNBC for. No one should have predicted this. No one could have predicted this, am I right? Newsflash for Joe and Mika. No one wants this shit shoved in their faces right now. Read the room. People are hurt and angry. They're trying to figure out what the fuck to do next. This is the time for bringing people together and bringing communities. Nobody is in the mood to hear about how we need to give Donnie a do-over. Fuck that shit. So, has Joe learned anything from the pummeling his show has taken to the ratings? Fuck no. It was all a social media nothing burger, he says. Yesterday, I saw for the first time what a massive disconnect there was between social media and the real world. Because we were flooded with phone calls from people all day, literally around the world, very positive, very supportive. I'm sorry, but the massive disconnect is between Joe's ears. Joe's getting phone calls by his media bubble cronies. From his media bubble cronies. And he thinks because they're telling him how awesome he is, that translates to public acceptance. If any of that horse shit was true, then Morning Joe wouldn't be continuing to bleed viewers. The day after the couple revealed they had traveled to meet Trump at Mar-a-Lago, the show had its third lowest rated telecast of the year. In total audience, the Tuesday program averaged just 683,000 viewers compared to the 1.044 million viewers it has averaged all year long, according to Nielsen. In the advertiser coveted 25 to 54 demographic, the show saw an even worse drop. It averaged 78,000 demo viewers Tuesday, down 40% from the year's average of 129,000. Ouch. Action meet consequences. Fuck around, find out. That's what y'all are literally doing right now. So, okay. Wait, I'm sorry. I have two things. So first, let's talk about Morning Joe. MSNBC is literally, I guess, maybe more of the moderate. So if we're thinking like the 24-hour news cycle, CNN is a little bit more liberal, and I'm putting this in quotes. Fox News is very conservative, right wing, and then MSNBC is the, I guess, closer to center and seen as maybe moderate. Mika and Joe have always been towards the far right, to me, far right of the middle moderate of it all. But to watch so many moderate people, quote unquote, or people in the quote unquote center, I don't expect anybody on Fox News not to say, hey, we need to give Trump a chance. I don't expect no one to not say that, right? In the MSNBC side, even the CNN side, it is bothersome to watch people do that. Because one, it's like you cannot rally against Trump all fucking year and then one like, I'm like kowtow to fascism. You really are just doing that. And the thing about it, what I'm noticing is I have a feeling that this quote unquote moderate couple did all this because they thought Trump wouldn't win. And now that he has, now they're like, we got to change course. Do you, baby? You don't. You can stay exactly where you are, honey bunny. Stay exactly where you are. I promise you it's okay. Because quite frankly, that is ridiculous. Because if you think don't just think he is Hitler because you think he gonna lose. Think he's Hitler even if he wins. Because by the way, he's leaning towards that way for a lot of people. I didn't know this, but apparently for actors on actors, they find the partners, and Sebastian Stan could not find anybody to partner up with him. He is saying to do actors on actors because of his movie The Apprentice, and I think it's talking about Donald Trump. And I think it actually does not put him in a good light, but he still could not find anybody. And the thing about it is that people forget what happened to Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin, a comedian. Now I've heard in the last few years so many people talk about like, oh, comedian, and like, oh, don't be so sensitive, it's comedy. But a lot of these folks that were saying it was comedy, they damn sure were not saying that about Kathy Griffin and what she did. Was it shocking? Was it to shock you? Yes. Was it shocking? Yes. Essentially, she did like a joke cover of a headless Donald Trump, bleeding, and people were like, oh my gosh, what happened to civility? And she said it was a joke. They're like, no, it's not funny. No, there is not. No, this is no. People were clutching their pearls. And Donald Trump had the Secret Service come after this woman. They came after Kathy Griffin. He had the power of the government to come after this woman. She got essentially kind of blackballed in a lot of places. So the thing about it is, it's self-preservation in this place, and a lot of people are doing self-preservation. So they're like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. So when people are like, oh my God, why wouldn't they do this? Why wouldn't they do the actors on actors? Like, one, nobody don't want to talk about that man in any capacity, whether we're bad mouthing him or not. And based on what happened to Kathy Griffin, I kind of don't blame them. I don't blame them. I mean, I would have a field day. But here's the deal. That man has the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old. He went after Kathy Griffin instead of just like laughing it off, which he will not do. And he flat out has said he is going to retaliate against, quote unquote, his enemies when he was running this campaign season. So what do you think is going to happen? I don't. I'm not surprised by any of this. But I guess, Sebastian's like, it was like he could understand. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Is it bad to actually say, is it bad to say I'm like, girl, I can't. So if you have not been under a rock, apparently we are back to talking about bathrooms, public bathrooms. So there is a person in Congress by the name of Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who thought it would be cute to do this. Girl, what? So she put up a tweet that said, I never thought we would need a sign for this, but women's restrooms are for quote unquote, I'm not putting in quotes, but she put, I'm sorry, not quotes, caps, biological women, not men. I cannot even believe y'all are like going so really weird. And she put up a video of her putting biological up above the word women for a bathroom. It is a room with a toilet. A room with a toilet. And y'all are doing the absolute most. Here's the other thing about this. Because you're like, this is not, they're like, it's for biological women. It's a bathroom. Girl, shut up. And then they're talking about like safety. You think a placard on a room for someone who is a sexual deviant, so someone who is essayed women and or children, you think them saying a placard, like if they step across the threshold, they gonna get electrocuted? Ma'am, around the time where he had this years ago, it was in North Carolina, they're talking about like, oh, let's like, let's be discriminatory against trans people in bathrooms. Do you know there were like a couple of stories that came out about biological men who sexually assaulted young girls in the women's bathroom? Not men who do, biological men who identify as men, literally sexually assaulted 2 young women in a bathroom. Hey, hi, a placard on a door for a room with a toilet does not electrify you. Or it's like, you think that's going to stop somebody who wants to SA someone? What is wrong? Y'all are just so stupid. And the thing about it is, I'm going to tell you this right now. I, as a biological woman, I cannot believe I'm doing this. I'm a biological woman. Do you know I have no problem going to use the facilities and leaving. Do you know I feel more safe with, more safe with a trans woman in the room. You want to know why? Because they just going to use the bathroom and leave too. Like, what is wrong? What do y'all think they're going to do? What do you think is going to... Oh my God, y'all are so stupid. It's so stupid. People who just like literally are transphobic and they're like, oh, phobic means a fear. It also means an aversion. And if y'all are going to act like y'all don't have an aversion for trans people, I have a vineyard in California to sell you. But yeah, Nancy Mace can suck it. Also, Sarah McBride. And I kind of agree. See, y'all need to stop thinking like I gotta be civil. No, you don't. You can literally come after these people. Start doing it. Now. Stop like you don't. Yeah, gone are the days like you can be curt and funny. You can still stick your foot up their asses. I still maintain a little bit of civility. But yeah, Sarah McBride, girl, shut up. And I know our black trans sisters are going to be looking at you like, now girl. Now girl. But yeah, they are coming after her for some odd, and I think this really is to come after Sarah McBride. Because that's where Nancy Mace's tweet, it seems like it was directed at her, and it's like, girl, see, she coming after you. I would suggest you literally yeah, girl, she attacking you. See, this kind of thing, you ain't got to keep it cute. But shout out to the gentleman from PA, which is Mr. John Fetterman, said on Wednesday, so yesterday, that Sarah McBride can use his bathroom anytime she chooses. Again, because it's a room with a fucking toilet. Y'all, oh gosh, the fact that that somebody had to do this, but so Senator Fetterman wrote on X that he would not back the Republicans' decision and said he would rather risk his job than degrade Rep-elect McBride, who will become the first openly transgender member of Congress. Yeah, because homegirl is literally making, she's making history. There's no job I'm afraid to lose if it requires me to degrade anyone. If that's a defining issue for a voter, there will be a different candidate. We have a bathroom in my office that anybody is welcome to use, including Representative-elect Sarah McBride. It's a room with a toilet. It's like, what is wrong? Gosh, it's like, and the bad part about it is Nancy Mace is, she's a twat, period, point blank. Anybody who discriminates against trans people like this, about a room with a fucking toilet, or just in general, you're a twat. I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back. This has been the Mocha Men's Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back. Bye.
There is no plan to jump Trump supporters, but what if I said that I wish there was? If not all of you, then certainly the most emboldened ones. Now, I'm not saying that, but what if I was? Would that be savage? Would it be violent? Uncivilized? Because you know what I find violent and uncivilized? Electing a white nationalist as president. I would argue that the entire U.S. government is stained with violence, and nobody embodies that more than Donald Trump. This is someone who uses hate speech, who openly incites violence every chance he gets. Something that culminated in an insurrection where people died. This is the same man who once said that we need, quote, one really violent, rough day of police retaliation to reduce crime. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure it does. It's the plot of the fucking purge. This is the same man who vowed to seek vengeance towards his political opponents down to withholding disaster aid from non-compliant states. That ain't violent? As a base, Trump supporters are so collectively violent that regardless of the election results, there were fears over how you motherfuckers would react. Had Kamala won, there were fears of a civil war, which really just means y'all raining terror on marginalized communities. Now that she's lost, people are bracing for what the environment will be after Donald Trump is sworn in. And let's be clear, there is no far left in this country. Y'all made that shit up, but I'm of the opinion that there should be. This is not a call for political violence from the left. It really couldn't be. We don't have the freedom, especially as black and brown people, the freedom that allows white supremacists to roam the streets in red states. Untouched, by the way. But it is me expressing that I'm tired of this spineless ass high road shit that Democrats take in the face of very clear violence from not only Donald Trump, but the people that support him and the system that allows for a politician like him to exist in the first fucking place. So instead of using the same tactics that got Rosewood burnt down, you know, those white woman tears, how about y'all be glad that you aren't getting your asses whooped? Have a nice day.